Okay, I'm recording. Okay, so yesterday we talked about some of the different ways that you're graded on your listening rubric, okay, and that's what we're going to continue with today. So today we're going to be on the back side of the rubric, and we're going to start with Standard 2A, which is all about inferring meaning, okay? So this criteria is going to show us how accurately you can infer the meaning within a listening segment, okay? So it's a higher level skill. It's not stuff that's just right there. It's stuff you have to figure out. It's not always going to be about what you say or what is said in the segment. Sometimes it's about how it's said. Sometimes it's even about what's not said at all, okay? In another language, one of the biggest ways that I'm going to tell if you can infer meaning is can you figure out the words and the phrases that you don't already know based on the context. So basically, the idea is you use what you know to figure out what you don't know yet. That's what inference is all about. So on your rubric, what I'd like you to do is read through the descriptors of this standard. So you're on the back side of the rubric. It's the top descriptor. I want you to read what it takes to get a 5, 4, 3, 2, and a 1. Okay? So please read that now on your rubric. Okay? Look on your rubrics. Okay, you're reading 2A. What it takes to get a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, and a 1. Okay, now I have a little activity for us to use. So you're going to have to go back to your lyrics. Okay? We're going to try to infer some meaning, and you're going to answer each question in English. No, we didn't. We did the details, and it looked like this. But now we're going to do inference. So go ahead and write these questions, or write the answers to these questions on the back of your lyrics page, please. Okay? On the back of the lyrics page. How can I get this to show?
Are we writing a number like 1 to 5?
No, I believe this is just 2 questions, okay? This is just 2 questions. And this is where I really need a clicker for my computer. Oh, sorry, that was the question. All right. In verse 2, the singer says that he has a Magenkrampf. He has a Magenkrampf. What is it, and how do you know? Okay? Don't say because Frau told me. Okay? Yesterday when we were going through this, I kind of helped you think about how you would figure out a word you didn't know. Okay? So think back to that. How did you know, or first of all, what is a Magenkrampf, and how did you figure it out? Write that down on the back of your lyrics sheet. Franz, what is a Magenkrampf? It's a stomach ache, and how did you know?
One rhyme that we had in class.
What rhyme?
Mein Magen ist leer.
Oh, fun. Yeah, we did a rhyme in class. Mein Magen ist leer. You're right. So you already knew that Magen meant stomach, right? And then how did you figure out Krampf?
When you go into hospital.
Well, but if you just saw the word Magenkrampf, how would you figure out what a Krampf was?
Sounds like it.
Yeah, it's a cognate. Krampf is a cognate. So you put them together and you get stomach cramp. Okay? So you can mark that right or wrong, however well you did. Okay? Now, in verse 3, we're going to infer that the singer has gone to the pharmacy. But how? How do you know the singer went to the pharmacy? Go back to Strophe 3. And how do you know the singer went to the pharmacy? Kaiser. All right, who's got an answer for me here? Julia, kannst du bitte das Handy weg? How do you know he went to the pharmacy? Nobody knows? Okay, what, Uwe? Yes, because he said, da hilft auch keine Medizin. No medicine works, so you can assume that he's already been to the pharmacy to get medicine. Okay? All right, that was it for that. So here's how we're going to grade this. Look at your rubric. Look at your rubric again. And if you got both of those and you got them completely right, you said that we know Magen already and Krampf is a cognate, and you also said that we know we went to the doctor, or we know we went to the pharmacy because no medicine worked. Okay? Give yourself a 5. If you basically got that but left out maybe a couple of things, okay, give yourself a 4. If you got one answer correct and one answer incorrect, give yourself a 3. And if you got both answers wrong, give yourself a 2. Now, what about 1? Here's the thing, you guys. Listen up. The only way that you can get a 1 is if you do nothing. Okay? That's the only way.
Wouldn't that be getting a 0 though?
Huh?
If you do nothing, would you get a 0?
No, because our rubrics don't allow us to do that. Yeah, so you get a 1, but it's basically enough. All right, so make sure that you circle the score that you think you deserve for that. Yes, that was the top one. All right, now we're going to go on to the next one, which is drawing conclusions. And this standard is all about how accurately you can draw logical conclusions based on what you've heard. I'm going to tell you right now, you're probably all going to get this wrong, although one person last hour got it correct. So we'll see. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do if everybody gets it wrong. So nobody freak out right now. Go ahead and read that middle criterion on the back page. Read what it takes to get a 5, 4, 3, 2, and a 1. Oops. Okay, drawing conclusions. You're going to answer this question in English. You're on the back of your lyric sheet again. In the final verse, do you get the idea that the singer is finally going to go to the hospital? Why or why not? Why or why not? Did anybody come up with an answer for this? Julia.
Okay, but I thought he already went to the hospital because it says he's a star in the hospital.
Okay, that's fair.
He also says that the doctor said he's a hopeless case, so
The doctor said he's a hopeless case. That's true. Well, actually, you'd probably see the doctor first in Germany. Maybe not before you went to the hospital. So we can't assume that he saw the doctor in the hospital. But you're right, he does say he is the star of the hospital. Okay? Anything else? Okay. This is the answer here. He is going to go to the hospital because he said that he has had enough. Do you recognize a word in that line that says enough? Yeah, genug, okay? So that would tell you, I've had enough, I'm going, I have to go to the hospital. Okay? Now, did anybody get that right? No. So what I want you to know is that I made all this stuff up in the summer. I wrote this entire thing this summer. Okay? And now that we're actually doing it, I'm like, I really don't think that they would have gotten this one right. Okay, and sometimes that happens. So when I'm grading it, what I'm going to do is I'm actually just not even going to give a rating for this category. So you can just go ahead and cross that whole line out. The middle criterion, cross it off. Yeah.
Now, I didn't use that, but I said yeah, because it kept restating the song that she was hospital to hospital, right?
Okay, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would definitely consider that, yeah. I just want to make sure you know that I know if you don't know it. And if nobody knows it, I'm not going to count it. Okay, and now we have just one more. Okay, just one more. And it is using cultural knowledge. This is our last standard that we're going to evaluate here. And this one, hey, Pastel, this criterion is all about how well you can use the cultural knowledge that you already have to understand what you've heard, to help you understand it better. Okay? So for the last time, read the descriptors. What it takes to get a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, or a 1, do nothing. Listening, cultural understanding. Answer each question in English. Nummer 1. Using what you know about the health system in Germany, what do you think the singer did about his ailments before deciding to go to the hospital? What would he have done before going to the hospital? This was in your first cultural reading of this chapter. And Nummer 2. Oh, well, here's the answer. He probably went to the pharmacy first, right?
Yes.
Then to the doctor, and finally to the hospital. Okay? They don't just automatically go to the hospital like we do here sometimes. Okay? And this is not a bonus. This is number 2. Will the singer be paying out of pocket for his hospital expenses? That means, is he going to be paying cash or with a credit card or whatever for being in the hospital? And you can write yes or no, but then I want you to write, how do you know? This was your second cultural reading. It's okay, just describe it as best you can. All right. Will he be paying out of pocket expenses?
No.
Friedrich?
No,
Why not?
because they have universal health care in Germany.
Yes.
He probably, since he's a singer, has private.
Yeah, he might. He might have private care. So everybody in Germany has at least one type of insurance. And I don't know if you know this or not, but Germany actually had the very first universal health care insurance program all the way back in 1870. If you ever heard of a guy named Bismarck, Otto von Bismarck, he was the chancellor at that time, and he said, we are going to make sure all of our people are covered. So that's where they were the very first ones to do that. 1870. Yeah, long time ago. Long time ago. Okay, so now, my Miss Schuler, here's what I need you to do. Hey, Pastel. Pastel. What you're going to do now is figure out what all your ratings are. Okay, and I'm going to show you how I grade this. What I use for grading performance assessments, any performance assessment, is called a pattern of ratings. Okay? And I have percentages here, but I'm just going to actually give you the numbers. We're not going to worry about percentages. Okay? So if you have 3 ratings, and we're only counting the 5. We're not talking about that one that I had you cross out. Okay? 3 of the 5 ratings are 5, and not more than one of them is lower than a 4. You get an A. Okay? So you guys are going to determine your grade based on this. All right? 75% of the ratings, we're going to say if 4 of the ratings are 4 or better, so they could be a 4 or a 5, and no more than 1 is lower than a 3, you get a B. If 2 of your ratings are 3 or better, okay, and no more than 1 is lower than a 3, you get a C. And if 2 of the ratings are 2 or better and no more than 1 is lower than a 2, you get a D. So as you can see, it's pretty difficult to get an F on any performance assessment unless you do nothing. Okay? And sometimes you guys wonder, hey, listen up. Sometimes you guys wonder, why don't we just take a test? Well, it's a lot easier to get an F on a test than it is on a performance assessment. And it's a lot easier to get an A on a performance assessment than it is to get an A on a test. Okay? And performance assessments are a lot more real life as well. So that kind of helps why. So I want everybody to determine their grade, and I want to come around and look at them, and I'm just curious. Remember, this does not go in the grade book, so this is nothing you need to